Streaming again. Let's see. Let's see. Almost there. Oh, it says we're streaming. So if you're watching this in the future, just pretend this is fancy intro music and whatnot. Waiting for it to go live. Let me know when you guys see me. Man. Let's make sure this is all cool here. Okay. There's a, not yet, there is a delay. Yes, there is. Let's see. It says it's streaming. Uh-oh. That's bad. It's on the old one. Crap. This is the one I wanted to do. Oh, I think I got it. I think I got it. Can peeps see me? We here? Oh, my gosh. That was ridiculous. Okay, let's pop out this chat so we can see what's going on here. How's everybody doing this evening? Man, sorry about that, guys. I need to study up on, I keep doing this where I hit stream and it shows up on the old previous stream, not the new one. So anyway, we'll get that figured out. Can you guys hear me okay? Good. Awesome. Working perfectly, yes. And I think I got the stereo thing figured out. I was mono last time. So how's everybody doing? Good to be back. Couple things before we jump into some questions and whatnot. I am thinking about doing live streaming once a week. I'll figure all this out before I do that so I don't waste everybody's time. But yeah, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. I'm thinking of doing, instead of Q&As every single time, maybe we pick some topics. Maybe we do a live review. Maybe in the topic department, we could do something like, you know, should you go to film school? Talking about the old camera market, purchasing used cameras, talk about different setups, maybe do some editing. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. So if you have any suggestions or some of that sounds good or not good to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. For those wondering, I'm using the webcam I used last time. I'm going to look into some HDMI capture devices and see if I can get a like G7 setup here permanently or something like that. So yeah, news would be another great thing we could cover. What's going on in the industry each week. So yeah, where's the gray shirt? Pro Smith Media. Yeah, I'm wearing green today. A lot of you will be happy to know I actually went out and purchased new clothes. I usually wore one of 3 shirts in the past, so I'm going to broaden that out a little bit. It's hard for me to choose color. I'm really bad about color, as you notice from my website. Everything's like gray. So yeah, all right, let's look at some questions. Anything you guys wondering about recently? Has anyone seen all the new GH5 firmware info? It's pretty interesting. Looking forward to that. It's one of the reasons my GH5 guide has been delayed in the review. I've been waiting for that, and I was always like, it's right around the corner. It's still summer, and here we are. It's going to be the end of September, so that's unfortunate. All right, new YouTube look. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. You know, no one likes change, or a lot of people don't like change. I do like the cleaner look. I'm not wild about the logo. The big thing I'm not into as much is everything's kind of blown up. It doesn't seem to be working as well. Looks like there's still some stream issues going on. Man, I gotta figure this out for next time, guys. I'm sorry. I see the old stream is still going on and people are wondering where everything is. So let's go over to live stream. Lovely content, don't you think? Streaming now. Let me somehow share this. How can I get this over to everyone? This is embarrassing. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna copy this, send it over. So sorry for the issues, guys. 5 over here. Okay. So, yes, I'm using OBS for the live stream. I'm just having issues with it's going to the wrong stream. So yeah, that's what's up there. No capture card. I'm using a Logitech, I think C930E or something like that. I hope to be switching to an HDMI setup here in the near future. Okay. Can I have a child with you? Sorry, I am married, so that's not really going to work out. GH5 firmware update. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I really am interested in what HDR means. Everywhere I've read so far, no one really has any idea what that's going to look like in detail. So I'd love to learn more about that. And it's funny because earlier today I was looking at some red tech that's coming out or is being tweaked when it comes to HDR. So that's really exciting to me. And I think down the road, that's going to be everywhere, being able to record 2 simultaneous, exposures essentially, and being able to have some control in post with that. What frames per second do I shoot from B-roll? Right now, I've been shooting 24 just because most of my cameras, that gives me the best resolution and data rates. Although now that I'm shooting with the Shogun Inferno on the GH5, I'm going to play with some 60 frames per second. And that way I might be able to cut down on how long it takes me to shoot B-roll because I could slow it down and, triple the run time, if you will. Okay, best budget recorder under $600. That's a good question. I haven't played with the Blackmagic Assist. I've heard mixed things about it. I think a lot of Adamus's older stuff is pretty interesting, especially if you're going to be doing a 1080p workflow or if you want to downscale your 4K to 1080. That could be really slick. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I'll turn up my microphone. Some people are having issues with volume. Let me know if that's better. Yeah. Mirrorless or DSLR? Mirrorless. Best budget audio recorders. I like the H1. No XLR or phantom power, but for around $60, if you get the blue one, which is weird. If you get the black one, it's $100. That's a good way to get started. In tight spaces, can you put, this is from Gary, I need to start calling people's names out. In tight spaces, can you put a hair light on a mic or C-stand? Yeah, I've done that before. If you just take a cheap mic stand, you can throw a lightweight light on it. A really slick setup is a mic stand with the Aperture, M9, that little tiny USB light. That would be perfect. Nice lightweight little setup. Otherwise, the C-stand works great as well. There's also, if you Google or search on Amazon for cheap, or like, what is it called? Something like Boom Light Stand. You'll find a ton of budget options there, and they extend pretty far, and I have a couple of those in the studio, and that works well. Okay, let's see. Full frame lenses on the A6500, yes or no? I've been going with cropped lenses, so non-full frame, just because they're more affordable, and it's really expensive to go with a full frame compatible lens. I would only consider going with a full frame if you know you're going to be moving up to an A7S II or something like that down the road. But even then, you still have the crop option on those Sony cameras, so that's pretty slick. All right, let us see. Zoom 1 plus Rode video mic. Is that a good combination from Nylin? I am going to come out and I wanted to talk about this in a future video, but when it comes to Rode's video mic lineup right now, I would completely ignore the Rode video mic, the original one, and the Rode VideoMic Go. Those, in my opinion, as of right now, aren't, for the cost, a good option. I would highly recommend the Video Micro, and the VideoMic Pro is good if you want to go with the Rode. The VideoMic Pro Plus I haven't played with yet, but the older Rode microphones that, aside from the Micro, that don't have a battery, those aren't very good. And it's interesting, if you look at Rode's website and check the specs, you'll notice that the noise, signal to noise, or the noise level and the sensitivity aren't really that good. But that Rode Video Micro is still one of the best mics right now, and I love that microphone. Upgrade camera or get a drone. I don't shoot a lot with drones, so I'm probably not the person to ask about that. So I have to maybe check with some drone people. That's from Jacob. All right, budget E-mount lens. If you want an autofocus lens, I really enjoy the kit lens that comes with a lot of cameras, that 16 to 50. I think it's a pretty slick lens, and I use that a lot. Nice lightweight and pretty affordable. Otherwise, the 16mm f2.8 is a good option. It doesn't have stabilization, but it's a fast lens and pretty wide. All right, let's look at some other things here. Somewhere I just lost it, but someone asked about Satanic Jamnik. What are your favorite YouTube channels? Do you like the new YouTube logo? The logo, the design looks good. Everything looks kind of blown up, so I'm just got to get used to that. Everything seems a little scaled. But yeah, YouTube channels I follow, I should do a video on that and show you guys who I subscribe to at some point. That would be fun. Okay, will I update for the Academy, an update for the A6300 guide? Probably not. It seems like so many people have moved over. I need to check in on that, but it's hard to go back and update all of the guides due to time, but I'll look into that for you. Let's see. Best budget cinema lens for the A6500. I really dig Canon FD lenses. The E-mount is so flexible, you can put just about anything on there. So check out some vintage glass, maybe some Olympic stuff, or Olympus lenses are really awesome. Affordable headphones for DSLR for video. I lost the comment already. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Budget headphones. You can get away with a lot of things. It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to listen for qualities within the sound, how the lows are doing and whatnot, you need really nice headphones. If all you're concerned about is distortion and hearing if there's an echo or someone in the background, that's where you can get away with something more affordable. Sony makes a lot of affordable budget headphones that work really well. Okay, questions. Okay, this is a good one. This is from KOD Bias. Sorry, I need to stop the chat from scrolling. Is the Panasonic GH4 still a good option? At this point, I would say no. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today actually about this. Pretty much all the cameras that came out from Panasonic after that camera have been improved in so many ways. Even the G7, which is around $600 right now, is a better camera when it comes to low light, noise, even in normal nice lighting. So the only time I would recommend a GH4 is if you want something similar to a G85, but you really need to have decent audio in camera. That's the only time I'd consider that, and if you really wanted a Panasonic camera. Otherwise, the G85, the G7 are much better in my opinion when it comes to the sensor and low light and whatnot. Okay, noise reduction, Neat Video or better option? Neat Video is amazing. I know Red Giant has some stuff. I haven't tried it, but that might be something to look into. Try a trial from them or something like that. ND filter, should I go one that is adjustable or several singles? From Kenneth. That's a good question. I more and more have not been using fader NDs, so where you rotate it and it changes the ND level, because those are two polarizers working against each other, And if you do a test, if you have one, just film a scene and start rotating it slowly and pay attention to the contrast and skin tones and things. And you'll notice that reflections on different objects will change. So you might shoot one shot that's perfect. You go to adjust your ND fader and it's going to lose some of that magic. So using static NDs are much better for quality. They're a pain in the butt, but if you use those X-Zoom, X-U-M-E magnetic filter adapter dealios, you can have a whole set of them in a little bag and you can just magnetically snap them onto your lens. So that would be a better option if you're really concerned about quality. And it's cheaper in a way because you can get, you know, just the right size for your camera. All right, thanks, Sam. How are you doing? Do I make short films? No, I primarily run this channel and do training, film courses, and do all this stuff twice a week. I've been doing videos, and I'm hoping to do daily someday, but that's going to be a little while out. What is the name of the X-Zoom? So it's I'm sorry, I spelled that wrong probably. X-U-M-E. If you just X-U-M-E adapters, filter adapters on Amazon or B&H, you'll find them. What are my thoughts on Fujifilm mirrorless from Thomas Garcia? I am very curious to play with those. A lot of people have been saying, dude, you have got to check those out. They're amazing cameras. Oh, we got a donation from Jordan. What's going on, Jordan? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You're doing amazing work for people like me who are starting freelance from scratch. Will we see any videos about filming techniques and set work? I would love to do more of that. The problem is I need to get some people on board to help me with them. I don't want to have a phone off to one side or vlog. I'd really love to have an operator to help me do things like that. My passion more and more has been YouTube, helping YouTubers figure out spaces. I think that's one of my strengths, is being able to look into a room and immediately start seeing how to set things up for lighting and if you're a YouTuber getting started. So yes, I would love to do more of that. I'm thinking about doing a series where maybe I get some sponsors on board and travel around, going to different YouTubers or people trying to start a video studio and be able to help them get that started and then film all of that, talk about the decisions on lighting and whatnot. So yes, should be able to do that more in the future. Alrighty. Hey, Mike, you're in Chicago too? Sweet. Yeah, maybe we can hook up and figure out. I should probably reach out to people around the area more. All right. Let us see. Lutz from Promethy 19. Yes, I want to do a video on LUTs. I think there's a lot of confusion out there. I feel like a lot of people consider them just kind of like a grade that you can add to make your footage look nice, but there's so much more and different ways to use them. In short, you can completely not use LUTs and get the same results by grading. You shouldn't, in my opinion, have LUTs that look cool and just slap them on all your footage. You need to sit down and shot by shot grade that. Where LUTs can be helpful is if you just want to get, you know, a general log footage, you know, scenario over to something closer to a graded LUT or Rec 709, that can be useful, or to view your log footage in Rec 709 on a monitor. But I need to cover LUTs because, yeah, it'd be interesting. Alrighty. Questions. Advice on using the H4n as a preamp to the 70D. For Canon DSLRs, I think you should consider a dedicated preamp. That's going to give you a lot more or less noise than an H4n. I used to have an H4n, trooper of a piece of gear, but I would look into, right now my favorite is quickly becoming that Beachtech DXA Micro Pro, about 150 bucks. Really clean preamps. I'm going to actually compare it to all the preamps I've used and played with, and we'll see where that lands in the pile. And it's pretty interesting, especially compared to the much more expensive Juice Link stuff. Alrighty. Ceremonic. This is from Dietrich Cousins. Ceremonic. With I'm not sure exactly what that is. Is that one of their audio transmitters? I've been curious to check those out. Canon T7i. That's somewhat recent. Really struggling with the Canon stuff recently. I feel like the only exciting thing we're seeing is 1080p at 60 frames per second. What do you guys think of that? What is it, the M6? Is that the new camera that just was recently announced? Anyone know? I think that's what came out recently, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. Best $600 video recorder. Well, these are, yeah, we covered that a little bit earlier, but Adamus's older stuff is a great place to look. M100, I'm not sure. Does the GH from Rage, the Josh, does the GH5 still suck at stills? I don't know, because I don't shoot any stills on it. I will say that I've pretty much never been wildly a fan of Panasonic's cameras for stills use. Excuse me, stills use. Not really amazing. $5 donation from Spyros. Thank you, sir. Hey, Caleb, YouTuber in Wisconsin. If you need a body on a project, I'd love to help you out. Thank you very much, sir. I need to come up with some way to reach out to everybody and see if something like that could work, but I really appreciate it, and maybe we can chat offline, see what's going on. Wisconsin, man, some good stuff up there. I've considered moving there several times. I appreciate the donation. That's awesome. I need to get one of those soundboards and have like the air horn that I can repeatedly hit. All right. My opinion on the Nikon D850. Again, Nikon, unless I see something massively new there, I usually stray away from those cameras given the other options that are out there. I could be wrong. I haven't used the camera or really much of any of Nikon's options, but that's kind of my opinion there. So it might be good, but I just haven't checked it out. Sigma Art lenses from Blue Diamond Productions. I need to check them out more. I know they've revamped a lot of those lenses. I have the 18-35, which is incredible, but I haven't played with any of their primes or other zooms. From Mountain Fan, what would I buy first, a monitor or a light? Definitely a light. I'd probably, in the order of importance, camera, because there's no video without a camera. I would probably go with a kit lens with that if I was on a budget. Then a budget microphone if I needed to do sound, and a light. Probably a tie for the audio and a light, because, man, lighting makes and breaks everything. Wisconsin is great. I agree. I need to spend more time up there. We're pretty close. It's good stuff up there. Dennis says the 50-100 1.8 art is pretty amazing. Yeah, that sounds ridiculous. What are those guys doing over there? 50-100 1.8? That's silly. Ben Film Production. What's going on, Ben? Thank you for the $2 donation. Collab with, yes, Daniel Craig. I need to sit down with that guy. Or Craig Adams. What am I talking about? I need to sit down and chat with him a little bit. That'd be fun to do something. He's a ridiculous person. It might be interesting to talk about our different styles, if you will. I don't really vlog. I just kind of do the more, not formal videos, but you know what I mean. And he's doing the whole minimal thing. Look back here. Does any of that look remotely minimal? I used to really like the idea of having a clean, minimal studio, a shooting space, and then my office would be really sleek and clean. But over the years, I've, at least until I build a studio someday, that's just not a reality. And down here, it's very utilitarian. Bocalicious sounds pretty nice. All right, let us see. Any other questions, guys? All right. Gorion says he has a G85 and is using the kit lens. What's a good budget lens or some good budget lenses? That kit lens I love. I actually use it on a lot of my cameras, the 12-260. It's a really solid lens. You might look into some of Panasonic's primes if you want to stick with the Panasonic route. Otherwise, just similarly to Sony, FD lenses, Canon FD lenses are a really affordable way to get some really fun glass. So if you want a fast, beautiful lens with some character, that is a great way to go. Are you in your basement? Yes, I am. This is one of the 3 or 4 rooms down here, and I need to do an updated tour. I keep changing things and I keep making messes, so I need to just clean up. Maybe that's what I'll do for a future live stream, is take my phone around and show you guys what's up. Sony or Panasonic? The question that I get asked the most. This is from Carlo. Yeah. And it's really hard to choose. It's going to come down to low light, larger sensors, crappy menus, and all the stuff Panasonic's doing. More data going toward that final file that you're getting, especially on the GH5. You're getting some ridiculous stuff. So yeah. All right. Let's find a new question here. Will the triangle ring light you made flicker? This is from Camera Child. No, it doesn't flicker. Most of those strips, those LED strips you can buy online, are actually pretty good. The reason we have flickering in a lot of lights, even like LED bulbs that you buy to screw into a light bulb at Lowe's or whatever, they use pulse width modulators, and it essentially releases light at a fast rate that we can't see, but our cameras can see, and that's the big problem. That's why a lot of photo lights actually won't work either. Alrighty, good budget lenses for Canon. Helios, the M42 mount is a great place to look. This is from Lucas Scott. You can't really do FD lenses for that stuff. Olympus lenses are stunning. Nikon is a great way to go. Pentax would be a good one to look into as well. There's actually still a lot of great stuff for Canon. Alrighty. Jeff! What's up, Jeff? Thank you, sir, for your $5.25 donation. Stay away from the cheesesteak. Come up to Lakeshore. All right. I like it. Check out my DSLR-inspired studio using G85. I am going to move or open a new tab for your channel. I'll check that out as soon as we're done here. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. Man, I really want that soundboard so I can do the air horns. All right. What's up, Brazil? Let's see. Looking for a question. How do you donate? Underneath the comment, I think. I don't really see it here because I can't see exactly what you guys see. AA batteries or MPF type batteries for LED lights. I would go with the MPFs. It might be handy to have one of those AA adapters just in case, but you're going to get better performance, and obviously being able to recharge one battery versus several is a good way to go. Aperture light mini dome. I don't have one or haven't played with one. I saw them at NAB. I'm very excited about them. That would be perfect for this light right here. Something right above, you know, a smaller setup would be great. So I'm excited to I'll probably pick one of those up. I am excited about the grid too. I wish there was a grid on the big light dome, which would be awesome. Why do I hate Premiere Pro? From Sam and Stefan. I tried it when the whole Final Cut X sucking at the beginning thing went down. I got a copy. I actually was paying Premiere for it for a while and checking it out. But it wasn't quite doing it for me. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to give Final Cut a chance. Started using it, and I'm that Apple guy who just loves the way their software works. I really enjoy the magnetic timeline. Their multicam is awesome. And how you can, when you hit import, immediately create proxies and optimize media. If you're on a Mac and using Premiere, I don't really think that makes sense because from just Premiere, not talking about Adobe Cloud, but there is so much good optimization for Apple hardware. If you're on a PC, obviously, or on Windows, you're going to want to not use Final Cut because it's not available. But yeah, that's kind of my reasoning, and I just like it. And it's $300, and I'm not on the teat of Adobe for long periods of time. DaVinci Resolve. This is from Rye. What's up, Rye? He's a regular in the comment section. I need to check out their edit. Does anyone else edit out there using Resolve to edit? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. I haven't sat down to play with it, but I know that's becoming a thing, and I love that extra competition. Christian McLean, love your channel. What would your advice be for deciding to stay at their video job or diving back into freelance, running your business world? Let me read that again. Thank you for the donation, Christian. That means a lot. What would your advice be for deciding to stay at your video job or diving back into freelance? If you're talking about myself, I really enjoy doing these videos, making these videos. I can create content, 2 videos a week, and hopefully more down the road. I get to film things that look good. I don't really miss shooting terrible office interviews for corporations. I do kind of miss the camaraderie of, waking up at 4 a.m., loading trucks with gear, and hanging out with guys, filming stuff. That's been a lot of fun. So I miss that, but I do really enjoy exploring, creating content, and having a little more creative freedom and having control over that content. So thank you for the donation. That means a lot. Alrighty. Am I going to do a giveaway? I'd be into doing a giveaway. Logistics and making sure I don't get in trouble for the way it's run and all of that stuff is kind of difficult. I've done a couple in the past. They're a pretty massive headache, and you can get into some trouble there. So maybe. We'll see. Let's see. What am I using to stream right now? I'm using a Logitech webcam. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, for a webcam, it's about 80 bucks. A cheaper alternative to dado lights. The just released, shoot, why am I spacing? The Aperture Mini 20D is incredible. I need to get a video covered. They sent me a single one, not the pack. They come in packs of 3. They're really, really solid little lights. So that would be something I would definitely check out. Ryan, thank you, sir, for the $5 donation. That really means a lot. And Tech Toy TV, thank you. Another $5 donation. Great job on the vids. For sure helped me out with some budget-friendly options for my channel. Love to hear your thoughts. Awesome. I will check that out, sir. And I appreciate the donation. Yeah, we were talking earlier about lightings. Ryan again, or Ryan G Productions, thank you, and love your channel. Just got the A6500. Would you get a Sony wireless lav or G3 for vlogging, or a shotgun microphone? So for vlogging, a shotgun is just going to sound great, especially if you're out in noisy environments. You're going to be able to isolate that sound. The lav thing is nice because it's a little more versatile. If you want to do some wider shots and still have decent sound, that's a good way to go. The G3, I've been enjoying the Rode Link. I'm checking out. I'm going to do a video on some budget options. But so far, the best one I've worked with has been the G3, the Sennheiser kits. They're just solid, and I really do like those. So that's what's up there. DaxM.TV, thank you for the donation, sir. Hey, man, I'm a motion graphics guy getting into film and cinematography. Your channel is helping me a lot with picking out gear to buy, and just wanted to say thanks. Question on coming up with content ideas. How do I come up with ideas? Usually it'll just be a random idea like, hey, what if I did some video on this, and I just write it down immediately in my Evernote, and I have a huge list there. I'll go through it every once in a while, get rid of stuff that I decided was crappy, and just kind of go from there. Sometimes it'll be what gear is available or what's coming out, And a lot of the time, I try to spend a little bit of time each day just tinkering with stuff. And a lot of the times I'll come up with what I think at least is a good idea for a way to make something work on a budget. You guys give me a lot of great ideas, so thank you for that. I always appreciate that. And Ryan comes back with Road Link, no audio monitoring. That's a good point. If you're going to do the road or the need to have monitoring on your A6500, that lav that you mentioned is going to work really well. Yeah. Or another option you could take, get a Rode Video Micro for $60. Put the rest of the money toward a small HD Focus, because that thing will save your life when it comes to using the A6500, especially for vlogging. Okay. Thoughts on the GH5 update? Excited, want to know and learn more about the HDR. What does that mean? I mean, it could mean many things, so we will see. Budget tripods. Yes, I need to do that. That's kind of a difficult thing to, I got to order a bunch of tripods, do the testing, find somewhere to put them here in the studio, and then figure out what to do with them all when I'm done with the review. Since I purchased these, so I don't need to have 9 tripods. All right. Angel Anderson, love your videos plus the G7 guide. Question, what's your camera recommendation / setup for recording long interviews as a solo shooter? Thank you, sir, for the $5 donation. That means a lot. Okay, so here's the deal. Let me paint a picture of the perfect interview setup when it's something critical and you have to record for long periods of time. We'll start with the hardcore and then we'll work our way back. GH5, some kind of Shogun recorder. With that combination right there, you're recording 3 different streams of video depending on your settings. You got 2 SD card slots and the recorder. From there, for audio, I would run it to the camera, but I'd also run it into some kind of recorder. And on the recorder, I would set up a safety track. So now you've got 3 different audio options to choose from. That is probably your best bet. Long record times, you're set for audio. Working back to something like a G7, an external recorder would really help. You don't have to buy something brand new that does 4K. You might look into some of the older Adamus recorders. They're getting pretty cheap now, like $295, maybe less somewhere. And then you could downscale that 4K to 1080. That would give you a longer runtime, and you wouldn't have to record on your camera since the G7 chops things up sometimes. So that's probably what I'd go with. Thank you for the donation. It means a lot. Have I used the iCan 5-inch 4K monitor? I haven't. I know they have a lot of really good stuff out recently, so I should probably check those out. I do love their little 3.5-inch monitor. That thing's slick. Missed the $20 donation. What? $20! Let me pull it up. Where'd it go? Thank you, sir. Let's see. Horatio. Really appreciate it. Thank you for that. And thank you for the heads up, folks. Okay. Any tips on making phone video look pro from HSHTG Tech? Thank you for the donation. Who did a video recently on that? Was it Film Riot or was it, shoot, what's his name? From Digital Rev. He did a video, I think, on phones. Maybe one of those lenses. There is an app for the iPhone that unlocks like more RAW related video settings. I have it. I'll try to look it up, and it works really, really well. I've actually played with it, and it's pretty impressive. All right, they're saying Film Riot and Kai. So yeah, those guys have some videos on using your iPhone and getting the most out of it. Okay. Film Mic Pro. Rye just shouted it out. That's what I actually purchased, and that works really well. So that's the app. Top vintage lenses for video. Olympus 50mm f1.8. any of the FDs. And I'm spacing on Helios. I've, you know, covered these in the past. And there's some other ones that I'm really excited about doing a video. I've got like something like 8 to 10 lenses that I need to cover coming up here. Some are like $20, $20. So that should be a lot of fun. Okay. Thank you, wife. My wife just dropped in. Am I going to do a short film? Probably not. I'm really enjoying content creation here on YouTube as a format, not necessarily narrative stuff, although I'd love to do a documentary someday. I think that'd be a lot of fun. What do I even do? Aaron asks. Just YouTube at this point. I used to be a full-time camera operator, mainly doing corporate video. So I would be hired by various producers and directors and do anything and everything. Film interviews, work on longer form projects, editing, all that good stuff. And then I started this channel or the site in 2010, and then eventually it became full-time, which I'm very grateful for. D850 thoughts. I haven't played with it. This is from Alex, and I'd love to check into Nikon to see what's going on. It's kind of like Canon to me at this point, where their stuff doesn't really excite me or seem to have much going on. Okay. What do I think about the Zoom H1? I think it's probably the best cheap audio recorder right now, and it's great to have on hand if something goes wrong. You've got an awesome little recorder. What moved your life career? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. I need to do a video on how I got started. A lot of people have asked, and I think it'd be interesting because I love hearing how people got to where they are, because it's always just interesting to me. Okay. Why not try to record one of my videos with smartphones? I think that'd be a good idea. It seems like a lot of people have covered that recently. I do, however, have a video coming up where I'm going to talk about VHS, which will be a lot of fun. How did I get my start in video? I was always interested in it and started to play with it more and more when I was in middle school and high school. My dad was awesome, helped hook me up with a camera and some audio stuff and Final Cut Studio 2 or 3. And from there I just kept playing with it. And here we are. So I need to cover that in depth, the whole thing, another time, which would be fun. Anamorphic lenses for the GH5. Pricey stuff. There's a channel I can't recall. This guy covers like every imaginable budget anamorphic setup. Right now, if you don't want to mess with some complicated stuff, I would go with the SLR options. They have little things, adapters you can put on top of your lens, and they also have some actual anamorphic lenses that aren't wicked expensive. So that would probably be something to check out. Okay. Most handy grip trick you know. Man, there's so many different little awesome, you could do a whole channel on just little tiny tricks with that kind of stuff. My favorite thing that I just use all the time is a magic arm or friction arm on a nano clamp. It is incredible how much you can do with that. Another thing is to use a microphone arm with lights. I love to do that as well. It's a great way to rig that stuff up. Okay. A series where people try to guess what camera I'm using. That's a good idea. Scott does a donation of $5. What's your opinion on using one battery to power your full rig like Anton Bauer? Yes, I've been meaning to dig into this more because there's so many different options. Let me roll backward and grab something really quick. So this is an upcoming video, and this is the Adamus power station. and it takes 2 MPF batteries, 5 power outputs, so you can power your camera, an audio recorder, a monitor, and some other stuff, charge your phone, all that kind of thing. I think it's a great option. It does add a lot of weight. This setup is nice and lightweight. You can relay it so you can swap batteries without your camera turning off. It's a great option. The problem is figuring out the best cost, the best way to do it with cost. For V-mount or Anton Bauer related stuff, check out plates that have multiple power outputs. So on Amazon, I think there's a bunch that are under $200, and they'll give you like 6 different ways to send power out from the battery. That's probably the best way to go. All right. Thank you, DSLR Films. That means a lot. Let's see. Thank you, Horatio, again for the donation. Means a lot. He says best wishes to you and the fam. Thank you, Rye. I'm going to cover this a little more and how I got this set up. There's some other things that are going to go on here, but it's going to be kind of a budget GH5 setup. Alex Miner, $5. Thank you very much, sir. I should probably check to make sure people are actually sirs. Although, let's be honest, I looked at my analytics and it's like 98% males. So my chances are good. Anyway, his question from Alex Miner: how have you checked out the Loa 7.5mm ultra wide lens for micro four thirds? What are your thoughts? I have seen that and I really want to check it out. It looks like a very interesting lens. I saw that on Petapixel, I believe. But yeah, that looks really cool. So I need to check that out. Thank you. Thank you for the donation. It means a lot. Let's see. Ooh, thoughts on the new hydrogen phone. I don't think my wife knows this, but I was seriously considering putting a pre-order in on that. Not because it's a phone. I'm that Apple guy who just enjoys the iPhone and buys the next one each time. I don't do Android stuff much. But the fact that it's super modular and you know they're going to come out with a bunch of stuff to slap onto that thing, and that it's kind of going to be the lowest budget new camera from Red. I'm excited about that. I'm really interested to see what that's going to look like. Red versus Alexa. I've never touched an Alexa camera. I've been around a Red camera a little bit, and recently I've been considering the possibility of buying a used Red camera. Maybe doing a video on what kind of budget setup you could get for budget setup under 10 grand. You could get with Red, but Red is more and more exciting to me, and I'm very curious to see what that's gonna look like. I've played with their raw footage. You can download their raw footage, and with Final Cut, they have a great integration there, so you can on the fly make all your changes. It's not like Blackmagic where you have to go through a fairly painful workflow to deal with raw. With Red, you just throw it in there and make changes on the fly. It's great. Let us see. Ursa Mini. I haven't played with the Ursa Mini. I know there's really mixed feelings about that camera right now. Some people swear by it. Others are having serious issues and do not like it much at all. So maybe I'll try one out. All right. How to crop down 4K to 1080. I actually have done that in those 2 videos you just asked about. I've done videos on that in the past. How to create multiple camera angles from one 4K signal or clip, and then downscaling as well. So you can check that out on the channel. Just search like 4K downscaling. Ultra-wide PC monitor from Alessio. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering these names. So here's the deal with the ultra-wide monitors. They're super popular right now. My only problem with them, let me set this camera rig down somewhere where I'm not going to break it. My only problem with it is if you think about nonlinear editors, or at least Final Cut, this might be different from other stuff. You've got the timeline, which is long, but there's a lot of windows above it that I'd like to have open. So I'd prefer more of a 16:9 aspect ratio, not necessarily super wide. So I've actually considered picking up, there's a bunch of these 40, 43-inch monitors. They're huge, but I love the idea of having everything open. So I've got my scopes, my color wheels, timeline, all of it. That way I don't have to constantly be using keyboard shortcuts to switch those up. So that'd be kind of fun. Yes, yeah, that the Red Raven, this is from Yanis on... That's interesting that Red's selling their camera on Apple, and 15 grand can get you into a kit. I have, if you know what? Let's do this right now. I'm gonna mix things up a little bit. Let's jump over to eBay real fast. Let's search for, someone's asking essentially, or we're talking about Red, right? Getting in on a Red camera. So Red 1 MX, which has a lot of great features, and you can actually get a lot of the new stuff that Red's doing is backward compatible. Bam, 4,500 bucks. I'm sure you can pick them up cheaper elsewhere. Red Scarlet X is one I'm kind of interested in. 7,500. So these are coming down in price. Look at this kit, $7,400. That's a lot of loot. So anyway, it's kind of interesting to me getting into a really solid raw setup on Red. Okay, external hard drive recommendations to edit 4K footage on. The first thing I would consider is I/O. USB 3 for 4K, 24 frames per second, up to 60 without going to 10-bit, works really well. SSDs are nice, but they're super expensive. I would recommend looking into RAID 0. So you have multiple hard drives in a RAID 0. If you have 4 drives, you're quadrupling the speed because it's all shared across the drives. If you do that, make sure you have a backup, because with a RAID 0, if one drive fails, everything disappears. But definitely a RAID 0 or a RAID 5 or a RAID 6 or a RAID 10. If you guys, let's do this again. This site I go to all the time. Let me pull it up again. RAID. Let me actually get it from Safari real quick. Essentially, it's a RAID calculator, and it's really cool to set these up ahead of time. So you go here. Let's say we're going to get a 4 bay, so 4 discs, 1,000 gigabytes or 1 terabyte each, RAID 0, calculate. It's going to give me 4 terabytes, 4x read and write speed, fault tolerance. So that's how many drives can fail and you won't lose data, and right now it's none. You can switch over to 5, RAID 5, 3 terabytes, 3 read speed, no write speed gain, but 1 drive can fail. So this is a great site. I can't tell you how many times I've been here just to check various things. So you can get real crazy with this and try some different things before you spend any money and get an idea of what you might get for capacity and all that good stuff. Alrighty, back to the chat. Okay. Probably going to do a couple more and then we're going to bounce here. What do you think about tech Ubers using Red? I don't know what's up. Maybe, I don't know. They're all using Red. I think, hey, if you've got the money and you're willing to put it out there and purchase the camera and use it, more power to you. I'm not going to say that they shouldn't be using that camera, blah, blah, blah. Is it a little overkill? It's a lot overkill. But I'm thinking of mainly like Linus Tech Tips. He has so much going on that I think that camera actually does make sense. If they're doing a video every single day, he's paying that much to people to run the business. He doesn't have time to retake all the time if something does go wrong. And they're tech guys, so, you know, it kind of fits in there. Would it make sense for me to use a Red to shoot this show? Probably not at all. Unless I just wanted to cover that and get an old one. Am I going to buy Helium 8K for this channel? Absolutely not. Okay, folks. Well, oh, this is an interesting question I'll cover right before we close. This is from Clay. How many YouTube subscribers did you need before you could go full time? It depends on how you monetize or run your business. So I went full-time on this channel. I should look back, but I want to say it was around 60 to 80,000 subscribers. Maybe, but I was, I was very little. I did almost no shooting even when I was at 50,000 subscribers. So if you have some kind of way to monetize outside of YouTube, you can do that a lot sooner. If you're solely relying on YouTube, obviously, for income to pay rent and stuff, it's going to be a while. Yeah. So, all right, guys, I think that hour went by very quickly. I apologize for the technical issues at the beginning. I'll definitely get my ducks in a row for next time. Hit me up in the comments of the videos and here on what topics you'd like to see in future live streams. What I'd like to do is maybe pick some topics like, should you go to film school, full-time on YouTube, camera setups or kits maybe for shooters and YouTubers, things like that. I think would be kind of fun. Maybe we'll do this weekly. Let's see how it goes in the future. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching and for commenting and being patient with me. And for those of you who donated, that's awesome. I really appreciate it. We will see you in the next video and in the next live stream, maybe.